Hi and welcome. My name is Barry Selby. Welcome to my Facebook Live. This is Sunday edition of Facebook Live, and this is Messages from the Masculine number 59. Are you still waiting for your prince to arrive? Actually, I might call it something else, but similar to that. So before I get jumped in, and I want to do the broadcast now because basically it's Sunday and Sundays are more casual and I've got stuff to do later on, including sending my weekly love email newsletter. So this is actually maybe in that by the time I finish. We'll see how it goes. These talks are always very spontaneous, so it's kind of the exploration of what is in me about this topic. So bear with me. Before I begin, let me start with my name, what I'm about, who I am. My name is Barry Selby. I am a love and relationship expert, best-selling author, speaker, relationship attraction expert, so expert twice I know, and a passionate champion for the divine feminine. And so most of my work is in service to women in coaching in my work. And this has come up more than once about women waiting for their prince to arrive, to come galloping in on a white stallion with a upright posture and everything in place, and they get disappointed. Maybe 17 times. So I want to speak to that scenario, that fantasy, and also to what you can do differently. If you're someone who is attached to waiting for your hero, your prince to arrive, I have some cold hard facts for you and also some guidance. So stick around for the ride, it should be fun. So the whole thing about the prince, and this is Cinderella's story basically, or Snow White even. I mean, there's so many Disney movies that have ruined women's they've ruined romance for men because we have to be princes, which is actually limiting. And they're also ruining it for women because they're forcing women to be, what's the word looking for? Expectant. Or something's not going to happen. So let me speak to a couple of things. First of all, ladies, you shouldn't be waiting for a prince. To be really honest, you should be waiting for a king. I'm actually referencing Alison Armstrong's labeling. But the reality is that you don't want a prince who's somebody who's learning and wanting to be something. What you really want is a partner who is ownership of who he is. And I'm not talking about kingdoms necessarily, although some of you ladies might be waiting for a guy who's got lots of money and wealth and everything set up right. But reality is that you want a man who handles his life well. Now, he may be a nomad, frankly. I've been one, so I can relate to that part. But so many men aren't yet in the place of ownership of their lives, meaning they don't have clarity about their mission, their life, their purpose. And I talk about the divine masculine quite often, about how our masculine strength is in our focus and direction where we're going. And that's really, in some ways, the model, the example of what kingship is about. It's about bigger and, there you go. Someone's just posted, when you let go of dating princes, you found your king. Exactly. Not always going to happen that way, of course, but it's part of the package and part of the explanation. And I'm probably going to do several talks about the same general thing, about how you attract what you want, but there's several different prongs and approaches to talk to and speak to this. So I'll get to that in a minute. So the reality is that if you're out there looking for a prince and you get one, you're going to be disappointed. Second part, which is the bigger part I want to speak to, is if you're waiting for your prince to come along and save you, you're going to be destined for a codependent, dysfunctional, and losing relationship. Isn't that exciting? I've talked about the codependent paradigm before and how codependent moving to interdependence through the independent phase is part of the evolution of our culture in romance and relationships. That's one of my Facebook Lives from about a month ago. I'm not sure what number that was. But in this context, I just want to remind you of this because I don't want to talk about the whole thing again. But the recognition is, for you, I trust, that your motivations for a relationship are to find someone who's your equal in a sense, different but equal, but also someone who can walk with you. I speak a lot about how relationships are about being 100% yourself, or the partner is 100% themselves. So no longer being 50-50, but fully expressing yourself and living in your overflow with partnership. And ideally they are with you. That's the vision. And that's your king and you're the queen in that conversation. And I am speaking about straight relationships because there's also the gay conversation too. I'm not in that dance, but I do understand it to a large degree with the masculine and feminine polarity. But that I've talked about before as well. So, getting back on track. there's the opportunity sometimes to think that you'll have somebody come along who will make everything perfect for you. Now, I'll go talk about me for a second. I just felt it come up. I have this vision, this intention, this dream perhaps, but also this intention to attract a relationship partner, a woman who's basically doing her work in a way that's parallel or similar to what I'm doing, so we can do it together, that's additive. I'm not waiting for her to show up because I'm very clear about my mission. I'm also very clear that she's someone who doesn't need my help because that would be my client, not my partner. And also that I don't need her help in the sense of being a novice in areas that she has expertise in. I'm sure that we will both have skills that are additive to each other, that will be helpful, where we'll see insights into each other's lives, where we can be each other's mirrors and support systems, which is awesome. But from the place of, again, abundance and overflow versus lack and limitation. I'm also clear that what my work's about as I go forward is in partnership to be speaking to large audiences, and to do it with two people, a partner who I love dearly, versus doing it alone is way easier. So in some ways I'm waiting for her to show up to do certain things, but at the same time I'm still proceeding along. That's what these Facebook Lives are about. These Facebook Live talks are really practice for me to deepen in what I already know, to share insights and tips, and to educate the audience, you folks watching, and also to become more comfortable speaking in front of an audience. Even though this is virtual versus in person, as I found out Tuesday when I spoke to a live audience, and that replays on my Facebook page, by the way, it was very comfortable. So I'm moving forward in my life. She will show up along the way, but I'm not going to sit and say, okay, I'll wait for 15 years for her to show up. No. I don't want you to do the same thing for your partner. So that's my experience. So for speaking to you, for your next steps, is really get clear about what you want, but make sure when you look at your list and your qualities, your vision board, whatever you've created for that, that you really are clear that what you're looking for is additive to who you are, not filling in some gap you think you have. If any of those qualities, any of those descriptions, those items on the list are things that you can do for yourself, that you're waiting for him to show up to do for you, that's a trap. I just had to stop because I was waiting for someone else to come through. If you're watching my talks, you know I do have this thing where about 10 minutes in it stops, and usually that's complete. Sometimes it goes on, but usually not. The piece I want to add to this, and in a way it's because it's the work I'm doing in my online program I created for women, is really own the space you live in. Really empower yourself to be fully expressed as a woman. First of all, you don't need a man. Secondly, maybe more importantly, no, not more importantly, but certainly more visibly, it makes you more attractive. Yes, it makes you more attractive. Ladies, when you are owning your life and really living in a full place, you're not coming from a place of being a missing an element, then when he shows up, he won't feel like he's got to somehow carry you. Now, as a gentleman, we do tend to step out and reach and support and serve, but if we've got to keep doing that as a dependency, it's going to drain us. Been there, done that. So I know from experience. So ladies, when you're looking for your partner, you want to be in a place where your relationship partner is additive to what you're doing, not replacing something you think you're missing, as I mentioned from my own story. If you need help in this area, this is my speciality. I'll help you with that. Again, I am a relationship attraction expert. I have a program called Attract the Man You Want. You think I know some stuff about this. If you're interested in that, find out by messaging me. Reach out to me. I'm not going to put anything in the program. I'm not going to put anything in the comments. That's something you're going to reach out to me personally for. Take the effort. Make the effort. Take the step. But the reminder is again this, is that if you're waiting for your prince to come and save you, first of all, you want a king, not a prince. Secondly, if you're looking to be saved, you won't get what you want. Because the thing about it is, if this guy shows up to save you, at some point in time, he's going to get tired of that. And then when he leaves, you'll be disappointed again. So be self-sufficient, be whole, be owning your own space, so that when you have somebody that meets you, they can add to that and make your life abundant and an amazing exploration of love and light and joy and all these wonderful things. And if he leaves, which may happen, you will be back to being whole versus lacking. It will still be a challenge, I understand. Grief happens in relationship breakups and divorces and things like that. But when you come from a place of wholeness, the journey's a little bit more graceful. Just a smidge. So those are my reminders to you. As always, these are talks to help you have a better life, but more in love, life, and success in all areas. I've got a topic we're brewing for today, but I postponed it till tomorrow because this came up as a more stronger conversation. These are my daily Facebook Live talks. This is number 59 in an ongoing series was talking to my friend this morning with Mary, and she was saying, what's your end goal? And I said, I'm in a 21-day challenge right now. I was in a 30-day one challenge before that. This is number 59 ongoing series. I might go to 100, who knows? But these daily broadcasts are for you. Okay, they're for me too, because I'm getting more awareness of my content and what I can talk about. But the truth is, these are for you to have more power, more love, more life in your life. More love, more life in your life. Yeah, that makes some sort of sense. But this is a reminder to you that I absolutely am here to serve, to inspire, to remind you what you can have, to step into your truth and be successful. And that's why I'm doing these. So this is number 59 in this series. If you go to my website, barryselby.com, go to the video blog page, there's at least 56, 57 of them up there right now. You can watch any one of them in any sequence, however you want. They're all just in YouTube embedded videos. If you want to watch this on Facebook, they're on my Facebook business page. They're easy to find there because my personal page has lots of other stuff in there as well. And if you know anybody who should get value from this, please share this out with people. I mean, share the replay out to people who may get benefit from this. If you want help, please reach out to me. And I'm doing these daily broadcasts, as I said, so I'll be back in tomorrow. I'm sorry I don't have a fixed time. Usually they're around 5 or 6 in the evening, but I have other things that pull my time, so sometimes it's earlier, sometimes later. That's why today's is earlier, quite a bit earlier, because I want to get this done now. So that's it. Thanks for watching. And again, if you have people you think that should benefit from this, please share it with them. And I'll see you again soon. Take care.